My second question is this. Do you think it is an accident that major Republican political money and a major Republican political consultant from Kansas City has been swooping into St. Louis to fund Charlie Dooley's opponent? Do you think it is an accident that there is special interest money from around the state swooping in to fund Barbara Fraser's Republican opponent? Do you think it is an accident that they are putting as much muscle behind the opponent of Pat Dolan running for the 5th District County Council seat that Barbara is leaving to run for the Senate? Do you think it's an accident that in my first re-election campaign against an actual Republican opponent, suddenly there seem to be people out there ringing doorbells for him in Overland, which hasn't seen a Republican walking the streets in a few years now? I suggest to you that it is not an accident. I suggest to you that they think that this is their opportunity, and what is more, I suggest to you that from their senatorial campaign on down, they have made a conclusion that they need to get their people out in St. Louis County. They conceded St. Louis County 4 years ago. They didn't put up a serious opponent against Charlie, and all the way down they suffered for it. They will not make that same mistake twice, and if you don't know that this is going to be a challenging election cycle for any of us who has a D coming after our name, then it's probably time to turn on the news. So what are we going to do? Are we going to bury our heads in the sand? Are we going to whine about it? Are we going to say, oh, these Tea Party, ooh? I choose not to do that. And the reason I choose not to do that is because I think we have something to say. I think every one of those people whose names I just mentioned to you has a good story to tell. I think Barbara can tell you about her record in the State House and on the County Council, fighting for good jobs in this region and fighting for the progressive values that we care about. I think Pat Dolan can tell you about how he has devoted a life to making sure that working people in this region have good quality jobs that they can support a family on. And I think Charlie Dooley could tell you, if you have the time to sit there and listen to him, about 100 different things that he has done to promote the economy in St. Louis County and in our broader region, to get us working together to fight for real people. We must tell that story. Politics is always about telling that story, but now more than ever, it is about communication. It is done one person at a time. I have a reputation for being something of a political fundraiser, but I will tell you something. For the last couple of months, I have not spent more than about 15 minutes on the phone with people asking for donations. And the reason is, I have been spending my time on the phone with voters in the 83rd District and walking door to door, mostly in this community of Overland, ringing people's doorbells and talking to them about who we are, about what we stand for, and about why we care. If you want to get past labels, and if you want to get past a defining negative political tone, you have got to go and talk to people. And you have got to go and show them that these are real human beings who are doing this because they care. You have got to tell them that Barbara Fraser has better and easier things she could be doing with her life. You have got to tell them that Charlie Dooley could be a perfectly happy retired man. You have got to tell them that Pat Dolan was doing just fine with the sprinkler fitters very much, that he didn't need to take on this job. The reason they are taking on this job, the reason I took on this job, is because there is work to do. It is because leadership is needed. It is because now, especially at a time like this, at a pivotal time in the history of our state and our nation, we need people who are not in it because of what the special interests want. We need people who are in it because they care about the community. Amen. Some of you are here because you are friends. Some of you are here because you are family, including my wonderful aunt who just walked in and who I didn't get to introduce. Some of you are here because you are constituents, and some of you are just here because you care. Whichever category you fall into, what I ask of you is this. For the next 2 months, I ask you to care a little bit more. Whatever you have done for me and for these fine folks here, I ask you to do a little bit more. It's only 2 months. It's going to be a challenging 2 months, but we got people to talk to. It's straightforward, grassroots, one-on-one politics, the way the founders intended it to be done. That's what my life is right now. And I hope that you'll give a little bit of time out of your life to make sure we make this happen. Thank you all so much for coming. Please eat more. Enjoy this marvelous day. And I am still willfully ignorant. I don't have any information, so I can still say with the voice of a starry-eyed optimist, let's go Rams!